What is MCL 257.304 in Michigan? Issuance of license or permit after revocation, suspension. Restoring a driver's license after a revocation or suspension can be overwhelming for someone who needs to drive for work, school, medical care, or family responsibilities. MCL 257.304 outlines how a person in Michigan may regain limited driving privileges after a revocation or suspension, particularly when the loss of driving privileges is connected to multiple OWI convictions or other serious traffic violations. The law creates a structured way for individuals to receive a restricted license, but it also imposes strict requirements to ensure accountability, including participating in a specialty court interlock program and installing an ignition interlock device on any vehicle they operate. Anyone seeking reinstatement must meet every requirement, because failure at any stage can lead to new penalties or delays in restoring full driving privileges. Under MCL 257.304, a restricted license may only be issued after the individual completes a mandatory 45-day suspension period. A restricted license does not allow free travel. It limits driving to essential destinations such as work, school, treatment programs, medical appointments, probation meetings, testing facilities, and other specifically authorized locations. The person must also install an approved ignition interlock device and comply with all monitoring requirements. The law uses these restrictions to ensure that individuals demonstrate responsibility and sobriety before any consideration of removing limitations. The Michigan Secretary of State oversees suspensions, revocations, and approvals for restricted licenses. The agency confirms eligibility, checks for ignition interlock installation, and monitors compliance with travel limits and testing obligations. If someone violates these conditions, such as driving to an unauthorized location or failing an ignition interlock test, the Secretary of State may impose new penalties, extend the restricted period, or fully revoke the license again. When a person later seeks to upgrade to an unrestricted license, a hearing officer reviews their history of compliance, sobriety, and participation in required programs. Eligibility for a restricted license under MCL 257.304 depends on the nature of the person's prior convictions. The law applies to individuals with at least 2 OWI convictions or those with 1 Michigan OWI conviction and a prior substantially similar conviction from another jurisdiction. However, certain offenses do not qualify, including OWI causing serious injury or death and OWI involving high blood alcohol content or minors in the vehicle. Individuals who have habitual offender status, unresolved criminal traffic violations, or pending OWI charges may also be denied eligibility. Before applying, the person must complete the 45-day suspension period, demonstrating an initial commitment to rehabilitation. A restricted license comes with significant limitations. Approved travel includes employment, education, court-ordered treatment, medical care, court hearings, probation meetings, community service, drug and alcohol testing, and servicing an ignition interlock device. Documentation proving the purpose of travel may be required during any police encounter. Violations such as unauthorized driving, missing tests, or tampering with the ignition interlock device can result in immediate consequences, including extended restrictions or full revocation. Consistent compliance is necessary to avoid restarting the entire reinstatement process. Participation in a specialty court program is a central requirement for individuals seeking a restricted license under this law. These programs focus on rehabilitation through structured oversight, regular testing, ignition interlock monitoring, and continued progress evaluations. The court must certify that the individual is actively participating and fulfilling all program requirements before the Secretary of State will issue a restricted license. Participants must also maintain at least 6 months of documented sobriety. A certificate of completion from the specialty court strengthens the request for full reinstatement but does not guarantee immediate restoration. Specialty court participants who remain in good standing may also qualify for exemptions from vehicle immobilization and forfeiture. If they violate court rules or commit a new OWI offense, these protections are lost, and the vehicle may become subject to immobilization or forfeiture under Michigan law. Navigating the reinstatement process under MCL 257.304 requires careful attention to the law's conditions and the Secretary of State's requirements. The support of a lawyer and an attorney can help someone understand each step, avoid mistakes, and prepare for hearings. A lawyer can help ensure compliance with the specialty court program, while an attorney familiar with the processes of the law firm handling these matters can strengthen the individual's position as they work to regain driving privileges. Michigan defense law is committed to helping individuals manage these requirements, restore driving privileges lawfully, and move forward with stability and confidence. If you need guidance with this process, Michigan Defense Law at 2525 South Telegraph Road, Suite 100, Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, 48302, United States, can be reached at 248-451-2200.